Welcome to Graves and Ghouls, a podcast about internet mysteries, true crimes, and more. I am your host, Mama.Creep. Good evening. This is the first episode of the podcast, and I feel like this is gonna stick. You see, I tried making other podcasts that focused on themes like this, but I failed. I think it's because I made it too formal. So right now, I'm gonna let my guard down and share gruesome cases with you all in a light but respectful manner. So if you have a topic that you wanted me to feature in future episodes, please message me and I will look into it. So, hold on to your knives and let's begin. Yandere. Ever heard of that term? It's a Japanese archetype used to define a character whose love and admiration and devotions are so strong that it is expressed as an excessive obsession and possessiveness. And more often than not, you can see characters like this in animes. It's been romanticized for the longest time in the media, and though being a bit possessive in your love life is kinda cute. Yes, because I can see the appeal. It's not the greatest when you come to a point of wanting to kill your partner or the person you liked. And such is the case for today's episode, where a woman attempted to murder her boyfriend out of love. Today's episode takes us to Japan to talk about the case of Yuka Takaoka. Yuka Takaoka was born January 28, 1999. Now, I don't know much about her personal life because I can't really find anything. I know she cosplays and she also works at Host's Bar, but there are a few articles that says that Yuka Takaoka worked as a hostess in Tokyo, right? While others say that after Yuka dropped out of the university, she became the manager of the Hostess Bar in Tokyo. So I'm not quite sure if she is just a manager of the Hostess Bar or she is also a hostess, or maybe she is a manager and works as a hostess at the same time. Not entirely sure. But what is a Hostess Bar? A hostess bar or a hostess club is a type of nightclub found primarily in Japan. They employ primarily female staff and cater to men seeking drinks and attentive conversation. And there is also a male version of this where female clients go to the bar and then male hosts would cater to these female clients or customers and give them attention. So yeah, like I said, the clients would go to these clubs to rent people or hosts or hostess to have a drink with them. This hostess or host would give them as much attention as they want. They would buy liquor from the club. They would drink and talk and just generally have a good time. Does it lead to something sexual? From what I can gather, some cases, yes, it leads to something sexual, but I don't know how often that is. Now, going back to the story, in October 2018, Yuka met Luna or Phoenix Luna in the club that she works at. But there are also articles that say that Yuka and Luna met at a nearby red light district club and they met at a different bar, but I don't really know the correct story to that. The bottom line is Yuka and Luna met and Yuka fell in love with Luna hard. Why? Because she was willing to spend over 1 million yen on this man. It's approximately 9,000 US dollars per month, okay? So it's like 1 million per month. She's willing to spend that much amount of money on Luna. So in peso, that's around 495,000 pesos. So look, I'm not gonna tell people how to spend their money, but Phoenix Luna must have been a very handsome or good host for Yuka to be able to spend that amount of money on him. Now at some point, Yuka must have confessed her feelings to Luna, and Luna reciprocated that feelings because they decided to bring their relationship to the next level and they moved in together in an apartment on May 20, 2019. And things were going well in the relationship, and at least for a few days. And my parents always had this saying that goes, you don't truly know a person unless you've lived with them in the same house. And I think it's kind of true in this case, because I think cracks started to show in Yuka's attitude. Some articles that I've read said that she became clingy and jealous of Luna's work. But I just want to remind everyone that this is Luna's work. He is supposed to flirt and give attention to other women. So, for Yuka to be jealous, that is warranted, yes, but that is Luna's job. I'm not defending Luna here because I don't know what happened to their relationship, but you work as a host in Japan. You are bound to flirt with women there, really, because that's what you need to do. You have to flirt with them, you have to talk to them, give them attention. Moving on, Yuka claimed that 3 days later, Luna came home late and he became cold towards her. Something must have happened. Could Luna have been just tired from work? Or is someone giving him another attention? Now, Phoenix had promised Yuka one night that he would help her clean up their new apartment. And unfortunately, he arrived on the 23rd, 3 hours late. And Yuka was waiting for him. And despite Luna's tardiness, he went straight to the bathroom and ran himself a bath. And while Luna was taking a bath, Yuka looked through his cell phone. And while looking through his phone, Yuka found photos of Luna with different women. Could Luna have been cheating, or was it photos he took with his clients during his working hours? What are those photos? I don't know. But on that same night, May 23, 2019, when Luna went to bed, Yuka, enraged by what she saw, took a kitchen knife and stabbed him with it. Phoenix Luna woke up, shocked, and fled to the first floor lobby. And unfortunately for him, Yuka followed suit and stabbed him again. Luna had 2 abdominal wounds, and if you Google the photos, you could see Yuka sitting down next to Luna, smoking and talking on the phone with someone with her hands and legs covered in blood. And it was truly a gruesome sight. The police arrived a few minutes later, and when they asked her a question, she ignored them, or was just nonchalant about the situation, So at approximately 3:50 p.m. local time, Tokyo Metropolitan Police arrested 21-year-old Japanese citizen Yuka Takaoka for allegedly stabbing a male acquaintance in her apartment. And during the police questioning, Yuka was quoted saying, "Since I loved him so much, I just couldn't help it. After killing him, I too wanted to die." I think we can apply this statement in this case that if I can't have him, no one can. I don't know what drove Yuka to eventually kill him, but jealousy maybe, clinginess maybe, angry because he was being cold towards her, who knows. But whatever it is, it doesn't justify her actions. She shouldn't have done that, obviously, because you're hurting another human being. On December 3rd, 2019, Yuka Takaoka was found guilty of attempted murder. Luna, who had recovered at that time, accepted Takaoka's apologies of 5 million yen, which is approximately $45,000, and when converted in peso, it's 2,476,599. And Luna claimed that he held no grudge against her, and surprise, surprise, he apologized to Yuka for cheating on her and asked the judge for a lighter punishment for Yuka. So the reason that Luna was cold towards her was probably because he was seeing someone else. But let me just remind you, they just moved in together, And after they moved in together on May 20, like 3 days later, Luna got stabbed by Yuka. So in that short amount of time, it's really, really quick. But yeah, even though he cheated, I don't think it's really justifiable for you to kill someone. In the end, Yuka was sentenced to prison for 3 years and 6 months. And unsurprisingly, after the attempted murder, Yuka gained massive popularity for being a real-life incarnation of a Yandere character. Which, to be honest, wasn't that shocking to me because I saw that a mile away. And looking at her, it's not a surprise really because she's pretty. And people romanticize the obsessive or possessive kind of love on a lot of like stories. And her Instagram account gained over 70,000 new followers after her crime. And did you know that there was actually a GoFundMe fundraising to bail Yuka out of jail? It actually raised over 3,800 in 2 days. But thankfully, the creator of the fundraising took down the donation after it was mass reported, because why would you bail a criminal? People, stop that. Additionally, the Yandere simulator game, which I think you may be familiar with, the fans wanted a Yuka Takaoka skin, which is sick, and that's not in the rad kind of way. So please don't do that. Thankfully, I don't think the game developer agreed. So no Yuka Takaoka skin for the Yandere simulator game. But yeah, that's the case of the real life Yandere girl from Japan. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings and was able to understand the case tonight. Remember, if you have any topics you want me to feature, feel free to tell me and I will look into it. Now, turn off the phone and go to sleep. I'll see you next week. Good night.